Okay. What book have we been reading?
JoJo's Flying Sidekick.
Yes, who is the main character?
JoJo.
Who have we been analyzing? JoJo. All of these things that we've talked about her character, what? Actions, character.
Draws.
And that all leads us to talk about?
Okay. Emotions.
Good. Now, who will read the learning target for reading today? Chase. Read it loud and proud.
I can infer characters' traits through what other characters say or think about them and add information to a thinking chart.
Okay, point to our thinking chart. All right, good. Okay, now, what does it mean to infer something? Yes.
To like guess what's gonna happen.
So to guess what's going to happen, make predictions. What were you going to say?
To study stuff.
To study stuff, okay.
Like what Mommy said, like guess what's gonna happen next in the story.
So guessing what's going to happen next. What about if it's something that the author doesn't necessarily say? Like, did the author tell us JoJo is easily frightened?
No.
JoJo has perseverance.
No.
She's a worrier. She's anxious. No, she has low confidence. No. Did we figure that out on our own? Now, we are going to be talking about what other characters use as dialogue. What is dialogue? Raise your hand. Bella.
Speech.
Yeah, dialogue is speech. How do I see dialogue in a book? How do I recognize it?
When before but if it's like a long, sometimes in a book, this doesn't mean it's a dialogue, but sometimes it is. So if it has commas,
Not commas. What are those called?
quotation marks.
Yes, quotation marks.
And then it's but it can either be a dialogue or it can be like if you're like yeah, like when you're like doing that, like you're exaggerating.
Good. So I look for quotation marks, right? Okay, good. Hands down. All right. So we are going to first start off with our chant. Then we are going to look back in the text, find some of that character dialogue, and then we are going to make our inferences about her traits. Got it?
Okay.
Mirror, mirror on.
Mirror, mirror on.
And a story.
In a story.
There will always be.
There will always be.
Characters.
Characters.
Setting.
Setting.
Conflict.
Conflict.
Plot events.
Plot events.
Resolution.
Resolution.
And a theme.
And a theme.
Teach.
Teach.
Switch. Hey, yo. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to look back in the text at some of the other characters' dialogue, things that they said, and we're going to read that over. I'm going to let you talk with your partner again and tell me what can you infer from the dialogue that we hear. So, remember in this part in the book, what was going on? She had just done what?
Practicing the flying sidekick.
Yeah, she had a practice of the flying sidekick. And now on this page, I'm sure you can remember what he's saying.
You better step up here tomorrow.
Okay, good. So it says, at the end of class, Master Kim spoke to JoJo. You have been a very good white belt, JoJo. Now, you're ready for the final test for your yellow belt promotion. To earn your yellow belt, you must break a board with a flying sidekick. You'll be tested tomorrow, Chase. Yes, sir, said JoJo. Okay, so that's one example of some dialogue we had. All right, y'all remember this part? Okay. I don't think you're strong enough to break a piece of wood tomorrow, PJ said and jumped into the swing. Why not? JoJo said. 'Cause you yell like a mouse. When I do my kick, I yell, Kia! At the top of my lungs. JoJo took a step back from the tree. You'd get more power if the sound came from deep in your stomach, PJ explained. Then let your Kia come out of your mouth. Barked Ted. Hear that? Even Ted does it. So y'all remember that part?
She was trying to make her drink.
Okay, guys. I want you to be thinking, as I'm going through this, I want you to be thinking, what does it say about JoJo? Okay? Let's see. Then we have, at the very end, y'all remember this part?
Yeah.
She's swinging from the bandit tree.
Oh yeah.
Shark bait.
Wow.
Okay. That night when they got home, Granddaddy said, I thought you didn't care for that swing, little lady. JoJo just smiled, threw her head back, and kicked up to the sky. Okay, so those are some examples. I also have one more example. We kind of covered it already. Whenever she was visualizing, what did she visualize in her head?
The tree. Dark shadows.
Dark shadows. Okay, this is what her mom says to her. Visualize. It's when you picture something in your mind. Mom explained, picture yourself doing the perfect flying sidekick. Now get a good night's sleep so you'll be ready for your big day tomorrow, Mom said. All right. Now, we just talked about 4 pieces of dialogue, right? And now I need you to use your accountable talk really quickly. Talk about what traits you can infer based on the dialogue that other characters say. Okay? Y'all ready?
Yes.
What?
Let's talk.
Go.
So I she's like kind of worried.
Lyndon.
Very I
Shark bait! Shark bait! One more time, shark bait! Now, I need for you to share with me, through raising your hand, some things that you and your partner talked about. Tell me what you said, tell me what your partner said. Colton, we'll start with you.
You said that she was like nervous and scared.
Okay, so what quote did you get that told you she was nervous and scared?
In the story, she like.
What did someone say to her?
Oh, that she wasn't ready.
Who was it that? PJ. Kevin. I'm calling on hands up. Braylon calling on hands up. Okay, Lillian. Good job, Colton. That was right.
Thank you. That she was like scared and nervous and afraid that she couldn't pass on to.
So where did you get that inference from? Yeah, so her mom knows her best, right? So her mom told her to visualize, so that shows that she was a little scared and nervous. Good. Isabella.
I feel like that I agree with Lillian and Colton. Like some people had positive thoughts about her being good at it, and so that kind of made her happy, but like still scared. And then some people had non-positive thoughts, and they're not going to be able to do it. So.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Good job. Chase.
I sort of disagree with Colton because I think that she was more half worried, half confident because she got tipped from PJ, honestly, because she said to yell it from like deep in your stomach.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, let's jot some of these down. Those were all excellent. Excellent. Okay, so other characters' dialogue. We heard some different things. What was it that PJ said? Raise your hand. What did PJ say to her that you got your inferences from? Kevin.
Her key was like soft. The key got come from her stomach.
So basically, he said, you talk like a mouse, right? Your Kia is too quiet. You gotta go, Kia! From deep in your stomach. Okay. PJ said, you talk like a mouse in class. He also said, I think it was Chase that brought it up, you're not ready, right?
I didn't.
Who was it that said that?
I think it was Colton.
Oh.
It was you.
Oh, well, it might have been me.
Okay, good. You're not ready. And what inference did we get from that? He said, you're not ready, you're too quiet. What character trait did we get from that? Braylon? So, does that kind of go back to this part too?
Yeah.
Worrier, anxious, low self-confidence, right? So, I think that's pretty important to describe her that way. So, I think we should write that again. She's nervous. She's scared and quiet. Nervous, quiet. Okay. And Lillian, I think it was you. What was it that she said her mom said to her?
She needs to visualize so she doesn't get overwhelmed.
So, visualize. So you do well, basically is summing it up what she said. Now, what did that show us about her? If her mom's telling her that, what did that show us about her, Marley?
She shows us that she's kind of like she's nervous and scared and and doubts herself, but she does not give up.
Good. So she doubts herself, but she doesn't give up. I like that. So doubts herself, doesn't give up. How many of you have ever had self-doubt about something where you are wondering, oh, am I going to be able to do this? I'll raise my hand to that.
I doubt myself for tests and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I can't do it.
Exactly. Okay, so referring back to our learning target, were you able to look at what other characters said about JoJo to kind of infer some traits about her?
Yeah.
Yeah, were you able to remember those quotes because they were important to the story?
Yes.
Yeah, especially the "you're like a mouse," right?
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes, no, maybe.
Okay, what you're going to do during independent reading, I am going to give you another sticky note, and you are going to make inferences in your book now, but this time it's going to be about what other characters say. So, if you remember, what we did before was on Tuesday or Monday, we wrote down what her character thoughts were. So you analyze that. Today you're going to put the other character's name at the top. Okay? What the other character says or does, and then how that shows you more about the main character. Okay? You got to make some inferences. And I put a little speech bubble. I hope they are reading a good book and making inferences. Remember that. What?
So are we reading the book we read yesterday?
Whichever book that you want to read, that's up to you, okay? Okay, if you finish this sticky note, you can come post it to the board, and I want you to work on that reading response sheet that has the plot, the events, all of the story elements that I gave you last week. Not the smack dab, the one that has all the character elements, or the story elements. Should be in your reading folder. I can give you another copy if you need it.
I think I
Capiche?
Capiche.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, let's go.
Fish.
Let me move my